Et salut à tous, c'est Sorator pour un nouvel épisode sur Genshin Impact. Aujourd'hui, nous allons nous intéresser à la quête de Chiori. Donc c'est parti pour du blabla. Chiori que personnellement je skip. J'ai déjà le Bédo que je joue très peu. Même si je le rejoins pas avec Navia, mais... Malgré son design, personne ne m'a pas convaincu. Mais on va quand même s'intéresser un peu à son histoire, n'est-ce pas? Let's go. Après, elle est stylée, Chiori, hein, un design intéressant. Mais,
Don't tell me you're afraid that I cheaped out on the dress.
No, not at all. I have
Laetitia.
only the fullest faith in your work, Miss Chiori. I'm just in shock, that's all. It's always been my dream to wear a Chioria boutique dress for my wedding. I really thought the chance had passed me by.
Wait, isn't that Chiori? She's actually at her shop today?
hop là.
Oh, you've got a point there. Well, once she's done with her customer, we can go and ask her.
I'm a woman of my word. If I say I can do something, then it'll be done. The first rule of business is to
Appuie sur la
always keep your
touche, ça
promises.
marche pas.
Now, remember to not fold the gown, or store it under direct sunlight. I'd recommend only taking it out on the day of the wedding. From the look on your face, I can tell that may be a little difficult for you.
Oh, I'll try my best. Once he sees me in this, his jaw is gonna drop straight to the floor.
Chiori, you're actually at your shop today.
Is that really so shocking? It is mine, after all. Anything you're looking for today? A custom design, or perhaps some ready-to-wear outfits for kids?
Hey, Paimon's not a kid.
Oh, that. Well, if news of the event has reached your ears, I suppose the Fontaine Apparel Association's advertising efforts have paid off.
Are there any fun and popular activities that we can take part in?
Ugh, Fashion Week isn't what I'd call fun. But it certainly always attracts a crowd. It's a fashion extravaganza that only takes place once a year, after all.
Will you be showing off some of your designs too?
Of course. All designers at the Court of Fontaine use the week to advertise their brand. If you're lucky, you could even land a large
Comment
amount
ça,
of orders as soon
je
as
vais
the
pas la
main
faire
show
avant cet été.
ends.
Ah oui, non, mais c'est vrai que tu prends déjà du
Come
retard sur
to
les quêtes des
think
persos.
of it was also at a previous fashion week that our label first took off.
Aren't you pretty much an established name now?
Un Babybel.
People will still buy your clothes even
Bon
if you
appétit,
don't
Gilles.
participate this year, right?
Yeah, that's not quite how it works. While many people buy clothes for fit and style, the fashion industry also strongly values a label's artistic vision and creative direction. Why would anyone patronize a label that hasn't even bothered to put out any new designs for the year? In the end, fashion is just a representation of the spirit of the times. People support your brand because they support the vision it represents.
Huh. Okay, so maybe fashion's more complicated than Paimon thought. All that complicated stuff aside, you're saying we'll be able to see new Chioria designs at the show?
Absolutely. The designs have already been finalized. I'm just waiting for the fabrics to arrive.
Ooh, are you using materials you can't get in Fontaine?
Well, I still have a certain partiality to Inazuma-made fabrics. The textures are pleasant to the touch, and their familiarity gives me a sense of security.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's that feeling of home.
Ugh, something like that. Yes.
We're a long way from Inazuma, though. Aren't you concerned that your shipment might get lost or stolen along the way?
Toi, tu demandais les bannières, Gilles? Elles sont pas terribles. Pourquoi ça m'a bloqué, là? De quoi tu parles? Ah, tu parles de la bannière nostalgie? Mais tu peux switcher, hein? Non? Je sais pas. Ça te permet de choper, en tout cas, des nouveaux persos, vu que t'es un nouveau joueur, toi. C'est plutôt cool. Je sais pas de quelle bannière tu parles. Est-ce que tu parles de la bannière nostalgie? J'en sais rien. What the fuck, Gilles?
No need to worry. I've already
Oui, tu peux
taken
avoir Ola,
steps to
Bédo,
ensure that
Claire.
it'll arrive safely. I've entrusted the job to Company Express's most reliable
Mais
courier.
normalement, tu peux changer. Après, attention, parce que c'est les mêmes vœux que la temporaire.
Coming through. Coming through.
Non, mais on la connaît. Qu'est-ce que... Faudrait mettre des points d'interrogation.
Your shipment's here.
Et du coup, la bannière, elle disparaît dans 3 semaines et on sait pas trop quand elle revient. Elle reviendra sûrement au début de la prochaine mage.
Really sorry.
Avec des persos de Liwei, j'imagine.
Breaths, Kirara, then start again.
Mais du coup, ça veut dire que tu peux pas faire avancer ta pitié si tu mets tout sur cette bannière-là. Donc attention.
Oh, hey, Traveler in Paimon. Fancy seeing you here in Fontaine. It's been a while.
J'ai qu'à cliquer sur clé. Du coup, il l'aura pas eu là. Mais non, mais tu peux pas switcher tant que t'as pas eu le... Je sais pas, en vrai. Comment ça? Bah, c'est un nouveau type de bannière. C'est des bannières régionales. Du coup, je suis déjà à 60. Non, 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 non.
Wait a second.
T'as la bannière avec Chiori et Ito. Ça garde ta pitié comme avant. Mais t'as ce nouveau type de bannière, les vœux nostalgie. Là où t'as le choix entre 6 personnages et plein d'armes.
What was the hold-up?
C'est
Sailing
une
blades,
nouvelle
bad
pitié.
weather.
Huh? No, nothing
Donc
like
t'es à
that.
0 sur cette bannière.
I just ran into
C'est
a
séparé.
bit of trouble, that's all.
Bandits, then? Or treasure hoarders? A few run-ins on the road aren't usually enough.
Mais
to keep
l'avantage,
you
c'est que si
in
tu vises eux là, si tu perds ton 50-50, tu peux gagner Albedo ou Clé, qui sont des persos limités.
I just got a little lost.
Donc ça, c'est plutôt cool en vrai. Mais go se concentrer sur les queues de Kira.
Keeping you honest as always,
C'est
I
quoi
see.
le mieux, c'est d'attendre Arlecchino et de voir si elle te plaît. Parce que faire une multi sur cette bannière, si tu comptes pas aller chercher le doré, c'est pas très
I
utile.
was stopped by a group of bandits as soon as I entered Fontaine. They were a little different from the ones I usually run into. I could hear them mumbling about Komunia Express. It was obvious they were looking for someone with 2 tails.
So it was a targeted hit?
Alors pareil, attention, si c'est juste pour choper un 4 stars, tu peux avoir que des 4 stars de Mondstadt. Et bonne nouvelle, il y a Amber, Keia et Lisa.
My
Donc ça, c'est une
fabric
première.
shipment?
Ils ont jamais été sur des bannières temporaires. Mais genre, tu pourras pas avoir Kirara, tu peux avoir que des personnes Mondstadt. Donc il y a Mika, là de tête, je sais pas,
Oh, are you okay?
Bennett, Mondstadt.
I'm good.
Faut regarder.
I'm still a yokai after all.
Donc du caca.
I turned them over to the guards. It just took me a while to round them all up.
Moi, je te conseille d'économiser pour
Well,
Arlecchino. Après,
it's
tu
not
fais ce que tu veux.
completely out of the ordinary for one of your deliveries to get intercepted. But it still doesn't make sense how you knew it was my goods they were after. You've got other deliveries to make in Fontaine, don't you? Is there something else that you're keeping from me?
Well,
Perhaps I need to reconsider how many stars to give you in my review.
you always know how to get me, Chiori. Alright, I'll talk. So, I kinda wanted to know why anyone would order a hit on me, so I spent a bit of time investigating. One of the bandits had a loose tongue, which saved me some time. He said that a certain person had commissioned them to intercept Chioria Boutique's delivery.
And who might this person be?
Chiori, why don't we just let this one go? I mean, I didn't really get injured, and you've still got Fashion Week to worry about.
I appreciate your kindness, Kirara, but if I don't teach this person a lesson, I doubt they'll stop here. Anyone that dares to mess with one of my friends deserves a stern talking to and then some.
Alright. The guy said that the commissioner was someone by the name of Uter.
Uter. No, that name rings a bell. Wouldn't you say, Kirara?
Well, that's exactly why I didn't want to bring it up to you.
So you both know this Uter guy?
Through Chiori's complaints about him, sure. He's a fellow fashion designer who's made it his goal in life to make hers as miserable as possible.
So he's like a business rival.
A rival is what you call someone who fights you fair and square. Uter, however, just has it out for me as a designer. He's publicly disparaged my design choices, my use of materials. He's practically tried every trick in the book to ruin my good name. I've already warned him before to compete with me fair and square, but I guess he prefers playing dirty. Well, I'm more than happy to oblige.
Wait, Chiori, where are you going?
To teach someone a lesson. You must be tired after your long journey. Why don't you rest in my shop for a little while before heading back?
Chiori! Wait!
And she's gone.
Oh no. What should we do?
You seem concerned. Should we be worried about Chiori?
Well, she's always been the type of person to face things head on. But with her fiery temper, I'm just worried whatever she's about to do will feel negative publicity about her right before the start of Fashion Week. Traveler, Paimon, could you go after her and check out the situation for me? As a formal employee of Komania Express, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to get involved.
Yeah, we'll take good care of Chiori.
To be honest, I'm more worried about that Uter guy's safety.
Non, non, c'est pas l'escapade de Kira. Je me suis pas trompé, hein, je t'assure. Petit pépé. Le meilleur 5 stars, si... Attends, on va regarder vite fait, vu que t'es là. En vrai, le meilleur 5 stars, pour moi, ça reste là. Après, c'est un perso physique, donc c'est un peu particulier. Mais au moins, elle a des bons dégâts, elle tape fort. Clé, elle est dépassée, Albedo... Albedo, c'est un peu Chiori, quoi. C'est un peu... Voilà. Si on fait un raccourci. À mon niveau, la bannière est plus intéressante, limite, pour les armes, quoi. Mais, ouais, le moins pire, c'est le là, je pense. Hein. C'est vrai que moi, j'ai rien confirmé, j'ai pas choisi. Mais du coup, la question, c'est dans 19 jours, tes vœux, ils vont où? Je pense que c'est mis de côté, c'est sauvegardé jusqu'à la prochaine bannière, mais... Du coup, voilà, c'est pas les mêmes vœux que ça. Hein. Attention. Hein. Donc, celle de là. Au devant est mort du loup. Yes. Oui, c'est sauvegardé, ouais, c'est ça. Après, t'as tous les détails. Mais honnêtement, cette bannière, elle peut être intéressante si tu veux choper un 5 stars. Si tu comptes pas choper de 5 stars, je trouve que c'est moyen. Au niveau des armes, ouais, t'as celle-ci, hein, du coup. Qui c'est l'arme de là. T'as ça, c'est l'arme de Deia qui a disparu, vu qu'elle a pas intégré la perma. Pareil pour l'arc de Tinari, hein, il a jamais intégré la perma. Et c'est une bonne arme. Hein. C'est du Tokrit. T'as des dégâts élémentaires. Et t'as de la maîtrise élémentaire qui est convertie en dégâts... En vrai, si je devais invoquer, moi, sur la bannière, ce serait limite pour choper cet arc-là. Mais j'aime bien Tinari, mais pas assez. Comme j'ai Aletam... Aletam n'existerait pas, peut-être que j'aurais tenté, mais... Non, si je veux un Dendro Kikari, j'ai Aletam, quoi. Et j'ai déjà l'arme de Deia, donc... Mais en vrai, la bannière, voilà, c'est une bonne idée, hein. Ça permet de varier un peu les invocations, mais... C'est pas... Bon, bref, rattrapons Chiori. Non, non, je vais pas invoquer l'arme de Deia R5, mais je me suis posé la question pour l'arme de Tinari, hein. Je fais une multi. Ouais, bah après, c'est pas totalement perdu, mais dis-toi qu'un jour, du coup, il faudra aller chercher le doré sur cette bannière. Mais ça se trouve, à Liyue, il y aura peut-être... Ouais, les vieux persos de Liyue, c'est quoi? C'est Utao, Tartaglia. T'as maintenant, il y a Chevreuse. Attends. Il y aurait qui en vieux... En vieux de Liyue, là? Zongli, ils vont pas le mettre, je pense pas. Ils vont pas mettre le... l'archon. Yae Yae, mais non, c'est la région d'après, je suis fada, moi. Oh bah merde. Attends, y'a qui en ça, ouais. J'ai un 5 star. Bah GG. En personne Liyue, Zélie. T'as eu qui, JL? T'as eu là? Si t'as eu là, elle est forte. Hein.
The better question is, have you ever made one that didn't violate proper procedure?
Okay.
Mais comme quoi...
A man hired a group of bandits to mug my friend. I'm about to go teach him a lesson.
Are you sure this is something you should be telling the captain of the special patrol?
Oh putain,
it's getting hard to tell whether you're here to report a case or turn yourself in for one.
Neither. I'm requesting personal supervision from said captain, so I don't do anything
Are you planning to?
Oh mon dieu.
Not if I can help it.
Après, elle est
Alright.
rigolote, mais
Where is this person?
pas ouf.
Follow me.
Vin et champ, ouais, c'est peut-être la pire arme 4 stars limitée du jeu. Ah oui, il y a aussi les armes, oui. Tu fais bien d'en parler. C'est une arme... Suivez Chiori, elle est devant moi.
Just
Quoi?
promise you'll start trying to
Pourquoi
keep
ça marche
yourself
pas?
out of
Bref,
trouble.
qu'importe. Vin et champ, c'est bien sûr
When
Mona à la
trouble
limite.
stops coming my way,
Je crois que
I'll
ça marche
wish
aussi un
you
peu
well,
sur...
Matt.
comment il s'appelle? Sur Nomade, vu qu'il fait des dashs. Mais oui, t'as même l'éclair des impasses, donc c'est pas mal en vrai.
This should be the place.
Ah, Ganyu peut-être?
I'll go have a chat.
En 5 stars, ouais, Ganyu.
You know, Chevroz, Paimon gets the sense that you two
Kicking
are
Ellie sera
actually pretty
sûrement.
close.
It's just as Chiori said. We got to know each other pretty well in our lines of
Beizu, il est
work.
trop récent, je
You
pense.
could call it a
Il sera
you
pas sur la
scratch my
nostalgie.
back and I'll scratch yours sort of situation.
Mais en vrai, c'est cool hein, d'avoir une bannière comme ça.
Does Chiori often need
Après, le
your
problème,
help?
c'est que bon, ça t'oblige à ne pas te
I'd say it's
focus sur les
mutual.
nouveaux persos. Quoi.
The special patrol needs her help quite often as well.
Et du coup, voilà, GL, si tu
We've
continues,
got tough
tu auras
problems
là
of
en
our own.
garantie.
Getting people to talk, for
Et si
example.
t'arrêtes là, bah, tu perds ton chemin divin
Uniform, the musket,
et tu
they're
retournes à
intimidating.
zéro.
Most people clam up the minute they see us.
Ton prochain sera
It's
pas
so
forcément
tight,
garanti.
Getting them to talk almost feels like trying to break into the fortress of Meripede. But put them in a clothing boutique, and they suddenly start gushing faster than the waters at the fountain of Lucine.
Oh, is it because they're trying to show off or something?
Refaire le multi.
Yep. People
T'es en
are
train de sacrifier
very
Arlecchino
anxious.
pour eux là,
They
là,
can't
GL
help but
là.
want to talk up new developments in their lives.
C'est
or
fou. Hein.
Show off how much they know about other people. And nothing brings out that sort of vanity
Après, tu vas
quite
peut-être aimer
like
Clé,
fashion.
hein, mais bon.
As a result,
Spoiler,
Chiori
elle
often
matche
picks
pas
up
avec,
on all kinds of
avec Tanavia.
information in her shop. Most of her customers are members of the upper class, which means they're pretty much up to the gills in wealth and intel.
You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Huh, Paimon gets it now.
Exactly. I'm also here to ensure Chiori's safety.
Avec Keking,
Those who
non.
make trouble for her
Pas
also
vraiment.
tend to be rich and powerful.
Ça peut marcher un peu parce qu'elle laisse des bombes sur la map,
And
mais...
in some very rare cases, I'm forced to protect other
Moi, j'irais
people
plus avec
from
du Shinkyu,
Chiori
hein.
herself.
Le but, c'est qu'elle tape sur de
So,
l'eau.
who got on her case
C'est plus
this
rentable.
time? It's been a while since I last saw her that angry.
Oh, so this is what happened.
Le problème de Clé, c'est que son ulti ne reste pas sur la map quand tu switches. Et ça, je trouve que c'est... caca. Sucrose, oui.
Huh?
Sucrose, ça peut matcher avec,
Tear, you say?
avec Clé.
You've heard of him?
Mais il te faut un perso hydro
Yep.
pour faire des réactions.
He's made trouble for Chiori several
Dans le dial.
times already. He's fond of pretty much every
Genre
dirty
Shinkyu.
trick in the book. Guardianage issued him a warning due to his behavior. So he's back at it, huh? His funeral, I guess.
Whoa, what's this about a funeral all of a sudden?
I just meant that Uter's done for. Now bring it in, you two. Get right up close.
Sure, but why?
Because this is probably going to turn into one of those very rare cases I just talked about.
What are you doing? Stay away from me!
Has anyone ever taught you the definition of stupidity?
Huh?
Stupidity is doing the same meaningless thing over and over again. It appears you've forgotten what I told you before. So, allow me to refresh your memory. Lay off the dirty tricks. Oh, and if you dare lay your hands on my friend again, you can expect a far less pleasant landing next time.
Ahem. Chiori?
Officer, an assault's in progress! Please, officer, you've got to do something!
Of course. I'll do my utmost to investigate the situation. Unfortunately, I was chatting with this traveler and seemed to have missed what happened. Not to worry, though. If you'd allow me to search the scene, I'm sure I'll be able to collect some useful evidence. You don't mind, do you? There's nothing in there that would implicate you in any illegal activity, I would hope.
GG JL. Mika est pas mal. En plus, on va avoir une arme 4 stars gratuite pour lui, là. Donc, go. Sucro C5, bof. Elle sera bien pour classe, tu la joues à réaction élémentaire, mais c'est pas ce que je préfère. Après, en vrai, maintenant que t'as Mika, go aller chercher là. Hein. Mais bon, c'est du physique qui tape. Mais bon. Et Giel qui me dit, Zeni qui me dit qu'on a les leaks d'Arlecchino. Bah, je veux pas savoir. Hein. Dis-moi juste si c'est encourageant ou si c'est chioritière. Voilà. Je veux pas en savoir plus. Juste savoir si ça pue la merde ou
I
si ça s'annonce
forget it.
divin.
It wasn't that big of a deal.
Ms. Chiori, I must also ask you to refrain from engaging in such disorderly conduct in the future, especially out in the open like this.
Ça s'annonce incroyable. Attends, mais...
Apologies, officer. I guess you could say I'm just used to tossing out any trash I come across on the street.
You...
Is there anything else either of you have to say for yourselves?
That's all from me. I sincerely hope that today's events will never happen again.
We'll see about that.
Whoa, that scared the heck out of Paimon! How did he just go flying out like that?
You're too kind.
Now's not the time to be accepting compliments. What happened to not doing anything too out of line?
Oh, not if I could help it, is what I said. And I think I kept to that. I started with a verbal warning, but he displayed neither shame nor remorse. If anything, he kept running his mouth with insults and threats.
Insults and threats so bad that he deserved to be tossed out like a sack of trash?
Believe it or not, they were that bad. He deserved to get knocked down a peg. It's the only way to get him to stop.
You could have reported him to the guards.
Oh, I will. But it'll take some time for them to gather evidence. And he denied that he ever had anything to do with those bandits. I don't want anything else to happen during Fontaine Fashion Week. On top of that, if Kirara is going to continue delivering goods for me, the least I can do is guarantee her safety. Oh, that reminds me. There is another favor I'd like to ask of you today.
What a shame. I believe you've already used up your favor quota for the day.
Have I? Well, it's a good thing I was planning on taking an advance on tomorrow's quota then.
Don't you think you're maxed out on advances already?
I always pay you back in information, don't I? It's just like you said. You scratch my back, and I scratch yours.
Et supposons que tu veux focus cela, t'as qui en électro JL? Me dis pas kicking, hein, ça matche pas. Est-ce que t'as cookie? Ah, t'as pas de 5 stars. Attends, c'est par là-haut. Putain, la TP, c'est entre les deux. Fuck. On va se mettre là. Kiki? Non, c'est Cookie. La ninja. Cookie, c'est elle. Merde, elle est où ma Cookie? Elle est là. Cookie Shinobu. Elle fait l'électro autour d'elle, donc ça match très bien avec là. Sinon, t'as Beidou, t'as Fischl. Dory, pas trop. Fischl, c'est pas mal parce qu'elle laisse son corbeau et ça fait des dégâts sur la durée. Donc, Cookie, tu l'as? Bon, bah. Ça matche bien. Après, c'est mieux si t'as des constellations parce que. Elle appliquera électro plus longtemps. Mais le but avec là, donc un perso physique, c'est de faire la réaction électro-cryo. Ça met un état de faiblesse sur l'ennemi en fait. En gros, hein, qui fait qu'ils vont prendre plus de dégâts physiques. D'où l'intérêt d'un perso électro qui tape sur la durée.
There's nothing to worry about.
Et bah faut jouer.
All you need to know
Allez, hop,
is
hop,
that you'll
hop,
never
on
have
farm,
to
on
worry
farm.
about someone in Fontaine messing with your deliveries again.
Sorry, Chiori. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. Those greedy bandits are to blame, along with a certain someone who doesn't know when to lay off the petty tricks. The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. They'll escort you half of the way, and the Spina di Rusula can take the second half. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure hoarders won't go anywhere near your goods. Unless, of course, it's to offer to carry them for you.
good one, Chiori.
I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you can assume it's already a done deal. You're going back to Inazuma tomorrow, right?
Wait, you don't mean...
I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training tomorrow. As for Navia, I'll give her a heads up in a bit.
There's really no need. I'm just a simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards. Or ones with sunglasses, for that matter. Don't you think this is a bit much?
Well, you certainly shouldn't count on such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It's just a one-off thing. For my own peace of mind. It'll also show those guys what'll happen to those who dare to mess with my friends.
Well, if you think it's a good idea, Traveler, then... I guess it's fine.
Well, with the bad guys out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything should be good to go for Fontaine Fashion Week, right?
I believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more outfits over the next few days. I've heard a lot of suppliers will be participating this year.
Paimon's gonna take a guess and say suppliers are super important.
But of course, they supply us designers with funding, equipment, factory access. You have to work with them if you want to become a truly renowned fashion house. That's also why this year's Fashion Week is so important to me.
But isn't your brand already really famous, Chiori? Your clothes are so pretty and so nice to wear. I can't help but brag about them to my customers whenever I get the chance.
Even so, I would imagine there are still people who've never heard of the Chioria brand, yes?
Non, c'est
Well...
Je pense
I mean,
qu'après
with the
Archéron,
amount of places that
je
I
la rachète.
deliver to, it's
Encore.
only natural that some people from other nations haven't heard of it.
Then it's still not famous enough. My goal is to make the Chioria brand renowned throughout all of Teyvat.
All of it? Your business would have to get pretty huge then.
Wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chioria branch on the continent to get my clothes fixed? It has been pretty inconvenient having to come to Fontaine every time I need to get them patched up.
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful with them. They're already about as durable as I can make them.
Okay, I'll admit, they do get snagged on branches pretty often. But I can't help it. It's hard to be careful about that sort of thing when you're trying to take a nice nap in a tree.
Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a reality. Is there anything we can do to help out with Fashion Week?
I'm
ok,
sure I
donc.
could think of something.
Bah, JL, déjà de base,
What is
si tu fais le scénario principal, tu
Why
gagnes
don't you
une
come to
pierre
my
par,
shop tomorrow and model for me?
par grosse quête. Hein.
Simply put,
Je crois que ça fait 20
you'll
pierres et
serve
quelques.
as my living mannequins.
Oh, so we get to try on
Donc,
some of your
go.
clothes? Got it.
Go passer
Seeing
50
off
heures par
that
semaine
will
sur le
also
jeu.
give
là.
me the chance
Allez
to
hop
make
hop
some
hop.
small adjustments to the stitching and the silhouette of the designs.
Sounds easy enough.
Comment ça t'es bloqué par l'autre? Qu'est-ce que... Le mec à Chiori. Non, non.
We've already booked the models for that.
Je fais la quête de Chiori pour m'en débarrasser. C'est pas
If
pareil.
you like them, though, feel free to visit the
Premier
boutique
skip
and see if
depuis,
anything catches
depuis
your
2 ans.
eye. I'll even give you a special
Je crois que le
discount.
dernier que j'avais skip, c'était...
Sounds great.
J'arrive pas à me rappeler qui
Wow,
c'était.
just starting to
Surtout
get
qu'après j'ai
curious about
invoqué.
all this design stuff.
C'était Ayaka, hein, mon
Then
dernier
we have a
skip.
deal. You'll model some formal wear, Traveler, and
Ayaka, je l'ai eu au rerun.
Paimon
Gagnou
here
aussi, mais
will
Gagnou, ça
show
devait
off
être
some
avant.
kids' designs. I'll see you both tomorrow then.
Donc non, non.
Yep, sounds good. Wait,
Donc ouais, ça fait plus de 2 ans que j'avais pas skip de personnage.
I told you already, she's
Merci.
not a little kid.
Il a fait des efforts, JL. Hop, hop, hop. Qu'est-ce qui te manque? T'arrives pas à survivre? Eh ben, fais des efforts. Techniquement, tu peux esquiver toutes les attaques. Hein. Je vais éternuer. Pardon. Je peux pas mute, le truc qui marche pas. Faut cliquer. D'ailleurs, j'ai coupé l'épisode sans faire exprès. J'ai envie de canner. Je vais devoir le copier. Ou alors on dit qu'on s'en fout et je rediffuse pas. Je sais pas. Mais à SNES, t'aurais dû tellement tenter une là. Au lieu
I
de faire
haven't
ça.
even opened the shop yet.
T'aurais eu Mika. T'aurais été heureux.
Chihuahua left already?
Au lieu de ça, t'as chopé des Dory et t'as augmenté ta pitié sur Chiori.
Yep, with the special patrol, bright and early.
Did everything go
Elle fait
alright
trop
on the
mal.
road?
Bah, esquive.
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite the entourage. The way they marched forward with Kirara in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP. For the second leg, the Spina also came with a pretty large group, led by Navia herself. They took care to clear the path beforehand as well. Kirara won't so much as step on a single stray rock on her journey. I even heard that Navia decided out of the blue to make a batch of macarons as a going-away gift for Kirara. An excellent souvenir to remember Fontaine by, I'd say.
Sounds like Navia really got into it.
My thoughts exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't have time to prepare something even fancier. I'm pretty sure she can't wait for another escort opportunity to come her way.
You know, now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks the two of you are actually pretty similar. You say what you mean, and when you have an idea, you really hit the ground running.
I suppose that's why we're such good friends. Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. No matter what comes her way, she never bows down in the face of adversity. That sort of determination and courage is something I really admire. That same spirit is the true vision of my brand. When she first mentioned commissioning an outfit from my boutique, well, I'm sure you can imagine my excitement.
It's like finding the perfect brand ambassador, huh?
Indeed. Customers pay attention not just to the clothes, but also to the figures in society who wear said clothes. People like to copy the styles of those they look up to.
Huh. And here Paimon thought all that mattered was for the clothes to look cute.
Fashion is about more than just looks, my dear. Especially if you've got your sights set on a market the size of that. Well, would you look at the time?
Oh yeah. Come on, let's get down to business. We're here to model.
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and sample outfits. Why don't you help me set up the shop displays in the meantime?
Set them up? How exactly?
Just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles. This way, we can guarantee that the customers will see something different every day.
Whoa, there sure is a lot that goes into running a store.
Well then, I'll leave the displays to you.
So, we just need to put all the clothes with similar styles together, right?
Putain, je dois cliquer, c'est insupportable. Ouais, Sucrose, c'est mini venti, ouais, mini. Mini. Mais kimono, là. Faut être cohérent. Let's go! Hop là. GG Acte, 3 visionnages. Zénith, il avait fait combien? C'est une dinguerie. 75, je crois.
Over here, stand still. I'll take your measurements first.
Zénith, il y a 8 jours, 75 visionnages en série.
Excuse
Le mec est
me,
fat, hein.
Miss
Du coup, j'ai plus
Chiori.
Primo. Mais ouais, mais je t'avais dit de base de pas invoquer sur cette bannière. Maintenant que t'as commencé, tu vas jusqu'à là. Tu te bouges le fiac.
Not too bad.
Your gown will be ready
Parce que
next
certes,
week,
tu
so
gardes ta
there's no
piti,
need to worry
mais tu
about
gardes pas ton
missing
chemin
the
divin. Hein.
ball. Or did you come
Donc,
here today because you'd like to make a
si
new
tu vas pas chercher
request,
là, la
perhaps?
prochaine fois, t'auras pas ton 5 star garanti. Hein.
No,
T'auras que la piti qui
nothing like
reste.
that, Miss Chiori.
J'ai perdu sur LoL avec Ibu.
To be honest, I came here today to cancel my order for that
Je suis
gown.
convaincu d'invoquer Arlecchino. Tout le monde sur
cancel
Terre est
your
sûr
order.
d'invoquer Arlecchino, sauf
But you can
Actalir
take it
avec
off,
2
of
R.
course.
Je
I
sais
know
pas.
you can't return any materials you've already used.
Il aime pas le perso.
Don't worry about the
Fada.
materials. I'm more concerned about you.
J'ai même pas besoin de voir son kit
Did
pour savoir
something
que je
happen,
l'invoque.
Leon? Have your plans
Faut m'aider à farm.
changed?
Bah si tu veux, mais pas là, je suis en pleine quête que je ne lis pas. Je sais même pas si je vais la rediffuser du coup. J'ai l'impression d'être dans la quête de dégâts.
I'm not trying to make things difficult
Pas
for
moi.
you. I'll take note of the cancellation.
Thank you. I'm really sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Elle a une scène
Just let me know if
dégueulasse.
there's anything I can do to help.
Bah dis-toi que c'est l'opposé de Chiori alors. Chiori a un design
Is it
intéressant
just
mais
Paimon, or was
n'a rien
she
d'autre.
acting a bit strange just
Et
now?
Arlecchino, j'imagine que ce sera l'inverse.
Wonder why she wouldn't tell us why she was canceling her order.
It's not a big deal. These things happen
J'étais
every
parti
once
dire
in
des
a while.
bêtises.
A
Merci.
family emergency, an important payday
Surtout
falling
qu'on évite...
through,
Enfin, je
lover's
sais que c'est des
quarrel,
conneries, mais...
no one to take you to the ball. I've pretty much heard it all. Judging from the look on her face, something's keeping her from revealing the truth to us. It's best not to pry.
Wow,
Et t'as joué
guess
qui à
this
SNES?
means you'll have more time to work on
Avec le
Fashion
petit,
Week, right?
le petit
That's
Zibou.
Come,
Le
let's
petit
pick
Zibou
up
qui a
where
fait
we left
quasiment
off.
600 000 avec eux, là.
Is Miss Chiori in?
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this item.
Kane top.
Oh, could I ask why?
It's just
Est-ce qu'il a joué le blanc
not to
support
my liking.
contre
It
John?
said I could get a
Quoi,
refund
t'as
if I
perdu
wasn't
contre John, là?
satisfied, so that's why I'm here.
Is there something about it that didn't meet your expectations?
Il va retourner sa veste.
Are
Bah,
the
j'espère
sleeves too
surtout.
short,
Putain, mais il est...
or is the color too dark?
Il a
I
cramé
can always
50
make
ou
those
60 jeux,
adjustments
là.
for you.
No
Alors
need
qu'il aurait pu
to.
choper des
Don't have to
chevreuses pour la
concern
rendre
yourself with
côtière.
that. I'd just like that
Parce que c'est
refund,
quasiment
please.
sûr qu'il y aura chevreuse.
And I'd be happy to process that
Enfin, j'en
for
sais rien.
you.
mais-
If you could just tell me
John
the
at top.
cause of your dissatisfaction.
Is Chiori here? I'd like to return my
Ouais, si elle sait jouer, c'est casse-couille.
Another one?
Is there some sort of new calamity
J'imagine qu'elle
coming
passe
that
pas
I
son
haven't
temps à
heard
mettre des
about?
tornades random.
Another flood? Or an apocalypse, maybe? What does the
J'ai
prophecy
claqué
say
10
this
cristaux
time?
et 5
You'll be
000 primo.
spared if you get rid of all your clothes. Surely the entire population of Fontaine didn't convene and pick this one day to come and return my clothes. What is going on?
What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The
Est-ce
way
que t'as
I
déjà
see
vu
it,
là,
this shop is
JL?
nothing more than a black market front run by a bunch of dirty criminals.
Please calm down, sir.
What is he talking about?
Haven't you heard? Chiori Boutique has been exposed for having close ties with criminals. It's all over the papers.
And just who is it that dares to throw that accusation
Ouais, il va
around?
être colère.
Well, you tell us. The fabrics you've got here, they're all sourced from underground factories, aren't they?
Mais j'ai pas compris.
I've
Qu'est-ce que
been
t'as pas compris?
transparent about my materials from the very beginning. I've already
sens
proved
de la
there's
vie.
nothing wrong with them. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you, then by all means, go ahead and hand over your garments right now. Spare yourself from that flood of yours. Or have you not been convinced of that one just yet?
You...
Elof!
Miss Chiori?
Go outside and help these customers with their return requests. There's no need to ask them why. We'll refund them at the purchase price.
Alright.
And once you're done, put up the sign that says we're closed for the day.
Got it.
Chiori.
They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. No need to worry about them. I'm sure they'll go away on their own in a few days. The real goal here is to divert my attention away from Fashion Week. The best response right now is to tune it out and focus on finalizing my designs.
If you say so, but Paimon still can't help but worry.
The best way to respond to public skepticism is to let your work speak for itself. There will be no doubt about the quality of my work once my new designs are released. The public just has to see it for themselves.
Miss Chiori, bad news!
Oh, for the love of... Can a woman not get a moment of peace to do her work? Go on. What's the matter now?
It's our accessories supplier. They just sent word that they'll no longer be able to supply us during Fashion Week.
What? No accessories? Not even the ones we pre-ordered?
Yes, that's what their messenger said.
And what about the models we asked them to book for us?
I think they'll probably pull out as well.
Even the suppliers believe those nasty rumors?
Is the messenger still here?
No, they've already left.
So, no accessories means no brooches, no bow ties, things like that?
Not just that. It means no gems, ribbons, gold thread, all the elements that lend life and soul to my designs.
But if you take those away, does that mean you won't be able to make your designs at all?
Alof, you stay and watch the shop. I'll go talk to the supplier myself.
Yeah, and we can vouch for you too. We'll make sure your supplier knows there's
Thank you. In that case, please come with me.
Je me suis tellement pété la gueule. Non, c'est pas ce que je vais dire. Je me suis tellement habitué à voir le stream deck. Oula, stream deck. Quoi? Que ça fait bizarre de pas l'avoir. J'ai dit quoi? Stream deck. What? Oh putain. La fatigue, hein. Je me suis pas reposé à Disney. What the fuck? Que du coup, ouais, ça me perturbe de pas l'avoir.
We really are just going to talk, right?
Of course. I wouldn't do it.
Voilà, je peux pas me muter en un clic. Faut que je clique avec la souris.
Who is it?
Venger, it's Chiori. We've worked together all these years. The least you could do is allow me a face-to-face conversation.
Straightforward as always, I see. You know, there are certain conventions people usually follow if they want to seek someone's company. Sending a messenger, for example.
And when has following convention ever gotten me anywhere? Why hire a messenger when I can just explain things in person?
Have you read the papers today?
I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation. Maybe that's something you should consider as well.
You're right. I only subscribe to the Steambird. And most days I never even read the others.
So, these rumors. The Steambird was the one that published them?
No, not at all. They were in some second-rate fashion tabloids.
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news faster than you can read them. Surely a bit of tabloid drama isn't worth cutting off my supply.
You would think that. But this time is different. Someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same article at once. They even went so far as to leave a copy in front of every house. That's how I first learned of the rumors.
Every house? That means someone must have been planning this for a very long time.
It seems your rival really pulled out all the stops this time, Chiori. The article was even published alongside a photo of you.
What sort of photo?
A photo of you beating up someone on the street yesterday.
Yesterday? Wait, that means...
Uter again.
Here, I've got a copy. See for yourselves.
Behind the scenes, the true Chioria boutique takes shape. Not a fashion house, but a house of lies. Relying on its close ties to the criminal underworld, the Chioria brand employs illegal competitive tactics to come out on top, giving hope to the evildoers among us that wrongdoing can still prevail, provided you conceal it under the guise of fashion and beauty.
I don't know what happened, and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still, that photo shows you to be the clear aggressor.
Yeah, he was the one who started it, that little...
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon, but it can't be helped now.
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind. Still, I've got to give your rival high marks for effort. They even dug up the fact that my father once served time in the fortress of Meripede.
But that was so long ago.
In the world of fashion, your past is like a piece of clothing stained with mud. Once tainted, it can never be washed clean. They claim that most of your clientele are criminals and that those who buy your clothes are just like you. People who silence all dissent with violence.
The absurdity. I don't even know which part to laugh at the most.
Well, it's no laughing matter. Maybe your clientele are criminals. maybe they're not. There's even the possibility that they're just people who happen to commit crimes after buying your clothes. But with the way this article combines fact with rumor, trying to determine the truth is practically an exercise of futility. It's not something people are just going to forget about in a day or two, especially when they've found several people to back up their claims.
Venger, are you sure you won't reconsider? If we go through with the show together, we can defeat them fair and square.
If I were younger, I might have said yes. But I'm no longer that brave young man with nothing to lose. I've got the family business to consider now. I'd be perfectly happy to work with you again after this, but my daughter is manning the store during Fashion Week, and I don't want her implicated in all of this. She doesn't deserve to be swarmed by all that negative publicity.
I understand.
Let me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori. For old time's sake. Let this Fashion Week go. There's always next year. You just need to wait for all of this to blow over.
You're free to wait things out, Venger. I'll make my own choices.
Have you ever thought maybe that attitude of yours is what's gotten you into all this trouble?
Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paved the way for my success?
Well, fair enough. Then I suppose all there's left to say is, best of luck. As for the models, none of them wanted to be implicated in all of this either.
Understood. Take care.
So, what should we do now?
Without the accessories, I can no longer use my old designs.
How could they do this? They're making things up. The boutique doesn't have anything to do with violent criminals. Can't people tell this is just a bunch of lies?
Public opinion has never been about what's true and what's not. It's about echoing the loudest voice in the room. I should have seen it from the beginning. Uter knows me too well. Everything that happened yesterday was just a trap.
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
Looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning?
You mean that sorry excuse for an article? Oh, just thinking about it makes Paimon's blood boil.
You too, huh? Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something so defamatory. Unfortunately, not all papers in Fontaine share our same sense of journalistic integrity. Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this baseless slander. I was just about to find some people to interview so that I can write an article to refute all those claims. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's people who misrepresent and distort the facts.
That's great! With your help, we might be able to get some people back on our side!
It's my pleasure. I've met Miss Chiori several times. I know she's not the kind of person that article makes her out to be. She was the one who made the hat and tie for my camera, Monsieur Verite. Speaking of Miss Chiori, do you know where she went? Alof told me you were all together.
She was just here. Maybe she went over there? Let's go check!
Comment ça, JL? Je comprends pas pourquoi on se tape 2 heures de quête full blabla. Bah. Bon.
I mean, what did they expect? Engaging with criminals behind their customers' backs.
They kept up a solid front, though. I've even bought from them before. Really? How was it? The owner was plenty fierce, that's for sure. Makes sense if she regularly deals with criminals, I guess. I've got the chills just thinking about it.
Non, tu spammes pas, tu laisses tourner. J'ai pas le temps de me mute. Ça me...
Oh no, we've
Désolé. Après, moi, ça me fait mes 30 heures. Hein. Comme ça, je peux regarder TikTok. Après, ça dépend des quêtes, mais là, j'avoue que... Genre, la quête de Fiona, elle était bien, je trouve. Mais il y en a d'autres. Mais le mieux, tu verras, JL, c'est les escapades. J'ai hâte de te faire découvrir ça la prochaine fois.
It's easy to use that to mislead people who don't know anything else about her.
Oh, this is all Tear's fault. Paimon would pick him up and throw him across the room too if she could. Wait a second. You don't think Chiori might have gone looking for him, do you? You know, so she can, finish what she started?
That would only make the situation worse
Merci,
for her.
Zélie.
I'm sure Miss Chiori knows that too.
You've got a point. Let's just return to the boutique and see if she's there then. Hey, Laugh, we're back! Oh, who's this?
Ah, this is Miss Letitia. She's also here to see Miss Chiori.
Oh, you were the one who came to collect the wedding dress yesterday, right? Wait, please don't say you're returning that dress too.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her. In fact, if there's anything I can do to help her out, I'd be more than willing.
Ah, so you've come across that article as well.
Yeah, you probably don't know this, but after I got engaged, I didn't think I'd be able to wear a Chioria dress on my wedding day.
Why?
My fiancé owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of mora, but we get by. After he proposed, he took me to Chioria Boutique, and we put down a custom order for a dress. He probably noticed how often I talked about Miss Chiori's clothes, and how pretty they were. Being able to wear one of her dresses to my wedding has always been my dream.
And then?
And then, something happened to the business, and we ran into major mora problems. We were able to scrounge up enough to pay off our debts, but it left us without the funds to pay for the dress.
But didn't Chiori say she was able to make the dress from what was left of the original deposit?
Yes. When I came to cancel the order, she asked if something happened, and I told her everything. She heard me out, and then told me not to worry. She assured me that the deposit I paid would be enough for the dress, and that she'd be able to finish making it in time as well. She promised that I'd be able to wear a Chihoria dress on my wedding day.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? I've always known Miss Chiori to be a woman of her word.
It is good. It's just, after I went home yesterday, I couldn't help but take out the dress and try it on. My fiancé happened to walk into the room and when he saw me, he froze on the spot.
Ah, what a shame. He's not supposed to see it until the wedding day.
Well, see, that wasn't actually the issue. He's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business. So as soon as he saw it, he knew for sure that it must have cost far more than what we paid.
Huh? So wait, that means...
Yeah. Miss Chiori covered all the costs and held nothing back. The fabric, accessories, beading, construction... It was all of the highest quality.
Oh. Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use your story for a piece I'm writing about the boutique. Would you mind going on the record?
Huh? Well, if it would help Miss Chiori out, I wouldn't mind at all.
I think it'd go a long way. Your real experience is more powerful than all those lies combined.
Hey, Olaf! Has Chiori come back here since we left?
Huh? I thought you were all together.
Well, we were. If she didn't come back here, then do you know of any other places she could have gone?
Oh, I remember now. There's this one cliff by the sea. Miss Chiori would always go there whenever she was upset.
In that case, why don't we split up? I'll continue interviewing Miss Letitia, and you two can go look for Miss Chiori.
All right, sounds good. Let's go.
D'accord. Alors, ma petite Chiori. Hop là, un petit carabé sur la route. Bon, qu'est-ce qu'elle fait assise là, toute seule? Bon. Bon.
There you are, Chiori!
Huh? How did you know where I... Alof told you, didn't she?
She did. We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there. She wanted to thank you for the dress. So, you see? You don't have to be sad. We'll figure out how to get through this together.
I'm not upset. I just wanted to get some fresh air. Wanna sit here with me? The view's quite stunning. Don't worry. I'll catch you if you fall.
Alright, don't mind if we do.
Elle me pousse.
Well, how does it feel?
Ils utilisent beaucoup d'images fixes dans son quête à elle.
It's quiet and open, and far from the relentless critique from fashion commentators and the media. It's just you and the beautiful scenery.
Yeah, it's important to take yourself out of that kind of stressful environment every once in a while.
I didn't grow up in a very strict family. My parents would joke that I grew up to be so assertive because they spoiled me as a child. I would get together with the other children to climb trees and explore caves. One time, I even climbed over the walls of the Kamisato estate. One of the servants had to physically remove me.
Whoa, Paimon would have never imagined that!
But even as rambunctious as I was, when it came to needlework, I was as quiet and focused as could be. It was as if I discovered a whole new world within those vibrant, dazzling fabrics. You know the feeling?
Sorta.
My parents noticed, and they sent me to study under a famous Inazuman tailor. It wasn't long before I had driven away pretty much every master tailor on the archipelago. You could say I really tried their patience.
You were that misbehaved?
I wasn't misbehaved, exactly. I just often had strange ideas when it came to fashion. Ones that weren't in line with traditional ways of doing things. On top of that, I hated the idea of groveling and making outfits for every arrogant big shot expecting me to be at their beck and call. Anyway, a few incidents later, I soon found myself without a master. Worse, not one shop was willing to hire me. Not even to do grunt work.
No wonder you left Inazuma.
I was angry and frustrated. So, before I left, I swore to all those masters that my brand would one day become renowned all over Teyvat.
Well, that's a great dream to strive towards.
After that, I came all the way to the court of Fontaine, a city often referred to as the capital of arts and fashion. I had a lot of fun starting out. Sure, I was living in a small cramped room, but I was finally free to make whatever I wanted. I had a far more naive view of fashion back then. As long as something was pretty, it would become popular, right? A simple concept, surely. Of course, as I spent more and more time in the industry, I learned nothing was ever that simple. Oh, you mean Letitia? Yeah, she did mention that dream. I'll be honest with you. That's the first time I ever heard something like that from one of my customers. Who would have thought? Even as I continue to pursue my dream, my work has also become someone else's. Alright, that's enough sightseeing for one day. Time to come up with a way out of this mess.
Ooh, looks like you've got your game face back!
Back? It was never gone to begin with. I did say I wasn't upset, didn't I?
Paimon thinks we should look for evidence that Uter wrote that article, and that he hired those treasure hoarders to attack Kirara. Charlotte's already working on an article to address all those nasty rumors so we can publish all our findings in the Steambird once we're done.
I don't like duking it out in the press. But if Charlotte's thrown her hat in the ring, I won't stop her either. I know where Uter's clothing factory is located. It might be a good place to start looking for some evidence.
Sounds good. We'll come with. As for Fashion Week, well, there's always next year, right? So there's no need to be too upset.
Huh? When did this become an either-or situation? Find incriminating evidence or participate in Fashion Week. I'm doing both.
But your accessories! Didn't you say your designs were unusable without them?
Well, it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that, but to tell you the truth, even here in Fontaine, every time I see the sea, I can't help but remember Inazuma, and the vow I made in front of those masters. Thinking about all that, I just can't bear to take even one step back. The sea.
What did you just say, Chiori?
The sea. Seashells, coral. I've got it.
Got what?
Come, let's take a dip, shall we?
Chiori! Wait, hold up!
Oui, le bouton marche pas. Plongeons dans la mer. C'est un peu long là. Ça peut être presque stylé. Go! Tout.
Chiori, why did you just jump into the sea all of a sudden?
Et hop.
Paimon, what do you think is the most beautiful
Pourquoi elle
thing
résonne dans
in
ma
the
tête là?
sea?
Calme-toi, Chiori.
Lumitoir?
Appelle-moi aussi, il a arrêté de résonner.
Oh, coral's pretty too. Ah, Paimon gets it now! You want to use things like that as the accessories for your designs!
Hop là.
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, help me grab some, would you?
Leave it.
Hop là.
These should be enough, right? Paimon picked all the prettiest ones in this area. Chiori, will these do?
Du coup, on peut parler dans l'eau. Ça fait pas bon.
Everything.
Great! So are we...
Yes, but don't forget.
Retour à la boutique.
Okay, we've got the materials for the accessories. Next, we'll need to use what we have on hand to create some new outfits.
You mean we have to start from scratch? Will there be enough time?
I should be able to make it, if I skip out on sleep.
Oh no, skipping out on sleep is not the answer. Wait, how come this conversation is giving Paimon major deja vu?
Ganyu? Who's that?
A friend of ours who does way too much overtime. Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna convince Paimon otherwise.
Well, I can't argue with you there. One thing's for sure, though. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it work. All this grit and determination. It reminds me of the first Fashion Week I ever participated in.
What else can we help with?
Let me see. I suppose all there's left to do is tear up all the outfits currently on display.
You got it! Wait, what did you just say?
You heard me. Tear them all up. When I went to that first Fashion Week, I had no savings to speak of. Just a few dozen yards of fabric and a dream. I had to make something work, so I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from Inazuma, and I used the scraps to make my entries for the show. I used the larger pieces for the base fabric, and the smaller pieces for accessories. If it worked back then, why not now? We can also repurpose some of the ready-to-use accessories in the shop as well.
But you worked so hard on all these outfits!
I know. That's why I refuse to let it all go to waste. I'm not going to let them win, even if it takes everything I've ever made and more. No need to be nervous. I won't hold it against you. Of course, if anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on a normal day, I'd probably toss them into the sewer. Just this once, though. I think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up. Think of it as a good way to vent your emotions.
Be gone!
Good job. That should do it.
Chiori, are you alright? Sorry for taking so long. I got caught up and... Whoa. What happened to your shop? Who did this? Those monsters. Slandering you in the papers wasn't enough for them, was it? They even sent people to wreck your shop. Give me their names. Since they're all too eager to tear up other people's clothes, I think it's about time the Spina di Rosula return the favor.
Maybe you should calm down a bit first, 'cause you see,
Huh?
Ugh, what is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the traveler to tear up the outfits. We need all the fabric and accessories we can get.
Oh, so that's what happened. I guess I got a bit ahead of myself just now. Back to what you were doing, everyone. You can all just pretend like I didn't say anything.
Navia sure is scary when she's angry.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation. No one's gonna orchestrate some conspiracy to take down one of my friends and get away with it.
You and Chiori are really close.
Of course. Everyone knows that Chiori makes the most gorgeous outfits in town. All of the Spina di Rosula's formal wear is custom tailored here.
Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well.
As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as a uniform. That's why I didn't ask you in the first place, silly. Plus, with how much your intel has helped us out in the past, to the Spina, you're more of an intelligence agency than a fashion boutique.
If I had it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway, we both know why I'm here. Tell me, how can the Spina be of service to you?
If it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing work? I'll need all the help I can get if I'm going to finish these outfits over the next few days.
Oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. I just knew you wouldn't be intimidated into withdrawing from this year's show. When are you going to get started? I can help with sewing too.
Actually, there's something else I'd like to ask of you.
Ask away. I'm all ears.
Oh, and Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and Lynette? I'll need their help as well.
I'm done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it back yet?
Oh! What happened to the boutique?
Who did this? Give me names. I'll make sure every last one lands a full feature on the front page of the Steambird tomorrow.
Not this again.
Ok. T'en es où au niveau de ton résumé, Zénic, là, de la quête, là? On va se TP, là. Hop là. On the my way. Oh, j'ai perdu ma charge. Il doit y avoir un délai, j'imagine. Bref. Ah non, c'est au-dessus. Bah oui, forcément. C'est là qu'on les avait vus. Fada.
Linny, Lynette! Great, you're both here.
A moment later and you'd have missed us.
We read the article in the papers. We were just about to go find Miss Chiori. She helped design a number of our costumes in the past and even sponsored one of our performances. The time has come, it seems, for us to return the favor.
Oh, perfect! She was the one who sent us!
In that case, I assume that there's something we can do to help. Just say the word and we'll take care of it.
Okay, so it's like this.
Is that all we'll need to do?
Should be a piece of cake for the two of us.
Paimon's glad to hear it. Well then, guess it's about time we go and find some evidence for all the bad stuff Utera's been doing, right? Chiori said we shouldn't disturb her over the next couple of days. We can check in with her again once she's done with all the new designs.
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it? Will she be able to make the deadline?
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Uther fair and square at the show, and then defeat him in the court of public opinion. She said that it'd be like,
A two-pronged approach?
Courtesy first, confrontation second?
Yeah, something like that.
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision. We'll go make some preparations. See you at the venue in 2 days.
All right, we're counting on you. Okay, then let's also do as Chiori said and meet up with her at Uther's factory in 2 days. We'll gather the evidence then. Oh, Paimon sure hopes she won't have a hard time making all those new outfits for the show.
Fresh fruit, sweeter than syrup.
C'est loin en fait, je suis obligé de me démute pour meubler. What the hell. Rendez-vous à l'usine du Tour. Du coup, est-ce que c'est le boss de fin? Comme disait Zanik. Oui, Zanik, il se peut que par inadvertance, j'ai aperçu un bout d'ulti. Il se fait. Bon, en même temps, ça pop comme ça, moi j'y peux rien.
Chiori, how are the new outfits coming along? You look kinda tired.
Just a few steps left now. I've handed the rest over to Alof. We should be able to make tonight's show.
Wow, that's cutting it real close. Are you sure she'll be okay without you?
Don't worry. I have no intention of giving ground on either front. With the fashion show scheduled for tonight, Uther has closed his factory. This is our only chance to secure any incriminating evidence.
Okay, Paimon totally gets that this is all his fault and he totally deserves it, but wouldn't we technically be trespassing on his property if we just barge in like this?
His factory is usually open to the public. It may not be open for business right now, but that doesn't mean visitors can't stop by for a tour. We're just curious customers after all, aren't we?
Well, when you put it that way...
Anyway, Uther's factory is right over there. Let's hurry up and get moving.
Why would he open a factory over there?
We have different marketing strategies. While I specialize in high-end custom garments, he prefers low prices and large sales volumes. I don't know. Maybe the rent here is cheap.
All right. Ooh, it's really creepy. Paimon would never choose to buy anything from a place like that.
You make a good point. Let's all be on our guard.
C'est une très bonne question, Zénik. Mais je pense que tu as la réponse, bien sûr. Et c'est pas ma faute, JL. C'est un peu le problème, c'est quand tu scrolls. Voilà. Comment on va là-haut? Ouais, avec la échelle, c'est peut-être pas mal. L'arme d'Asuka sur toi fait méga stylé. Je la veux, mais c'est un enfer d'invoquer. Bah, tu mets 500 balles sur le jeu, Zénik. Bah alors. Je vais... Ah non. J'ai le temps de me mute cette fois. Insupportable. Pourquoi il conseille du Géo? On va jouer du coup la Miss. En plus, on est plus ou moins bref dans les tréfonds. Non, pas cette team. Je préfère l'autre avec Albedo et pas avec Chiori. On se calme. Soir online. On a Chiori. Je peux jouer Chiori. À SNES. Donc là, ça veut dire que si je fais sa compétence, je passe sur Albedo. C'est de la merde. Ah, nul à chier. Nul à chier. On se calme. Bah, tu remets 500 balles dans le jeu, Zenic. Là, ils ont bien power creep. Ah, le diesel noir. Ils ont bien power creep notre cher Albedo.
We're in. There really is nobody here.
Je profite. Vu que j'ai pas le perso. Après, elle est quand même stylée, hein, la bourgandine. Mais... Après, le bédo, ça compte dans la structure. Hein. Let's go. Oh, elles font pas de grimaces rigolotes. Dommage. C'est vrai que du coup, tu peux les bouger. Ouais. Si on tire dessus. Je me suis trompé. Je veux découper avec une grimace. Mais c'est purement random ou il y a un moment où ça change? J'en sais rien. Pourquoi tu joues pas le voyageur? Qui joue le voyageur? Personne.
A mechanical guide. They usually
Ah mais il y a une live présentation du gameplay de Sword Art Online. T'inquiète, je serai pas là. Attends, on a des modélistes, des petits robots là, sympatoches.
First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand.
Après, elle est stylée au niveau auto. Hein. En vrai, ce serait un vrai main DPS, j'aurais préféré. Hein. Parce qu'elle est stylée, hein, mais c'est dommage, tu la joues comme ça, voilà. Fin du gameplay de Chiori. Voilà. Donc quel est l'intérêt de faire un perso stylé qui a 2 épées pour que son ulti pue la merde? Bah, à la limite, ils auraient fait un ulti où elle s'infuse pendant 10 secondes, un peu à la Sino, j'en sais rien, mais...
After that, we welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Parce qu'elle fait ce qu'elle a dit. Je suis très triste. Et elle a son arme en plus.
This is the studio where our designs are made.
Tu parleras plus tard. Elle a plus d'attaque que de défense. Ancien rituel royal. C3. Pardon. Offrez-la nous directement en fait. C'est rapide. J'ai tout lu. Merci. J'ai la flemme d'aller dormir. T'as eu tes 30 primogèmes, Zenic, ou pas encore? Elle est stylée. Ouais, elle est stylée, mais... Malheureusement... Voilà. Ça n'a pas grand-chose, quoi.
There seems to be something in this fitting room.
Sub DPS, ok, sans plus. Tu prends une Hélène, c'est plus intéressant, par exemple. Et elle apporte pas grand-chose, quoi. Il lui manque un passif de soutien, je sais pas. Ah d'accord. C'est dit qu'il est à fond. Il manque une demi-heure. Bah, c'est un ascenseur surtout. Après ouais, visuellement elle est stylée. Puis c'est le premier perso qui se balade comme ça. T'as Tarta, mais Tarta c'est une posture. Avec sa compétence, il peut pas la maintenir sauf en C6, MDR. On va pouvoir la jouer. Go! Oh, j'ai trouvé une carotte et une pomme. Trop bien. 4.6 gros banger. I hope. Vu le contenu de cette mage. Je pense que ouais, le skip c'est ce qu'il y a de plus sage. Comme tu dis, 4.6 banger, on va se focus sur le père. Tout le monde l'appelle le père. Attention des gardes. Tout. Ouais, elle fait des autos à 1400 là. Coup de ciseaux dans ta chatte. J'ai pas vu les dégâts. Oh, merde. Ah, du coup, elle a 3 poupées. Bah oui, non, mais madame, aussi, t'as là, c'est quoi, toi? Quoi? D'accord. Elle a une poupée en plus. Fata. Bah ouais, mais un perso comme ça qui est... Ouais, après, c'est normal qu'il y ait des constellations qui donnent des effets, mais... Mio-Yo, pourquoi elle est pas en perma? Mio-Yo... 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 Ouais, d'accord, c'est nickel. Un peu dans la vue, quand même. Moi, je suis à contre-courant. Ou pas. Ah là là. Faut essayer de convaincre Asnes sans le leak que Harlequino c'est une dinguerie. Merci. Et je peux même pas disparaître.
This place is filthy! Are the clothes from Uter's shop seriously made here?
Look over there.
Ugh! That water looks super nasty! Oh, Paimon can smell the stench from all the way over here!
And I was the one using unsafe materials, Uter?
So he was actually the one who opened an underground factory!
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch. He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut costs.
Should the clothes made here even be worn?
Never mind issues with shrinking and fading. These materials can give you skin problems if you wear them too often.
That's terrifying! Let's take some photos right away as evidence. This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court. Alright, let's keep going.
Alors, de rien, ça fait plaisir de participer au drop GENSHIN Impact. La compétence élémentaire de Chiori peut la faire se précipiter en avant.
Doesn't look like there's a
Attends, elle a cette portée là?
Follow me. Let's go up.
D'accord. Si tu veux un conseil, ne va pas sur X, ni sur TikTok. Bah, ouais, c'est un peu tard. J'ai pas vu grand chose, mais j'ai vu quoi. Putain. Pourquoi ils ont fait ça? Si encore c'était viable de faire ça, mais même pas. Elle fait des autos entre 1500 et 6000. Avec son arme qui buffe les attaques normales. Et le pire, c'est qu'elle a les autos niveau 8. What the fuck? En même temps, elle a lancé un rituel royal. C'est quoi ça? En plus, ça pue. C'est qu'à péter. It's a trap?
Seems like he knew we'd be coming.
Oh.
You did say he knew you really well, didn't you?
Après, on peut se TP.
Yes. And that's because we used to be partners.
Wait, you're practically at each other's throats! Now you're telling us you used to work together?
When I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a foothold in the world of fashion. We shared the same goal, so we decided to work together. In the beginning, we both wanted to make clothes that would stand out from the crowd and shatter tradition. The kind of clothes that would turn heads and leave people in awe. But with every criticism we received, and every sponsor that rejected us, Uter's confidence disappeared little by little. Finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the conclusion that we wouldn't be able to make the designs we always dreamed of, and we parted ways. For my part, I gambled it all, and devoted everything I had to that one week. I came out the other side with something that really made me proud. I was nervous to present it, of course, but I knew it was my chance to show the industry what I was made of. In the end, well...
You received the acclaim of all Fontaine while Uter gave up on his dream and turned to making this sketchy stuff.
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that. All I know is, after I opened Chiori Boutique, he's harassed me every year since.
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished. A guy like that doesn't deserve your sympathy.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first. Missing the show is as good as letting him win.
There are some control panels over there. Let's see if any of those buttons do anything.
Alors... Pas compris. Go.
Oh, that doesn't seem to have done anything.
On va exploser. Explosion. Oh. Ah. Attendez, pousse.
Not now. Stars, shine.
Adventures, let's light it up! I'm going in!
Attention. 45 000, putain. Faire.
Look over there. Seems like there's a way out.
Après, les poupées ont
Maybe we
l'air
can
plus
use
sympas
these
quand même que
mechanisms to
toutes
get
les
higher.
vidéos de base. What? On peut se faire écraser? Est-ce qu'on peut remonter et mourir? Non, ça arrive. Bon, je vais... C'est pas par là l'objectif, hein. Je suis fada. Attends, mais je vois les où? Qu'est-ce que je suis en train de faire? Où vais-je? Ah, il y a un coffre. Zénith, il y a un coffre là. Il y a même des sauts hydro dedans. J'aime pas les fatigues, j'aime pas son design, j'aimerais chez elle, pas savoir rien. Je vais C6. Ouais, d'accord, Zénith. Je suis en train de faire quoi là? Je suis en train d'avancer ou de reculer? Ah si, ou c'était bon? Ah, c'est le bon chemin? Putain, je croyais que j'étais un génie, mais en fait, c'est normal de passer par là. Nul.
We finally made it out.
Non, je crois que j'ai mal fouillé. Je suis un peu
Why
déçu.
does it feel like the
Ah!
movement
Oui,
patterns
c'est...
of those
What the fuck? Let's go. Waouh, là, le rappeur. J'ai pas ma compétence, comment je fais là? Hop. Attends. J'ai peur de... Oula, c'est un peu... Comment ça passe? Vas-y, en fait. Warning. Warning. Voilà, ok, en fait. Ouais, SNES. Prends bien le temps de tester Chiori, hein, vraiment. Fais pas de conneries. Enfin, après, tu fais ce que tu veux, hein, bien sûr. Un grand garçon, mais bon. T'as déjà le bédo, en fait. C'est juste le bédo avec des petites poupées trop mignonnes qui tapent à la place. Et Juzo qui a encore eu la C1. J'en peux plus de lui. Il a eu la C1 sur Xianyun, la C1 sur Chiori. Et lui, il va vouloir Relikino C6. Imagine, c'est là qu'il galère et qu'il n'arrive pas à l'avoir. Je fais ça.
Finally, the entrance! At last!
Par contre, on est d'accord qu'on est clairement sur une tentative de meurtre, là.
Those chambers couldn't hold
Eh,
you.
Zénith, t'es vraiment trop fort.
What a
Hein.
surprise.
We've collected a bunch of
Ils
evidence
sont
of all
tellement
the nasty
prévisibles.
stuff happening at your factory. You're not
Après, on va
getting
peut-être pas le
away
taper
this
directement,
time,
mais...
Tear.
The evidence on your person, you mean? What makes you think I have any intention of letting it get past these walls?
Oh, il a plus qu'à clé des doigts aussi.
More mechanical guards? Really? Ever thought about using these funds for a legitimate purpose?
Oh, but this is a legitimate purpose.
What? Destroying Chioria Boutique? Or continuing to make your rotten rags?
Proving that fashion is merely a laughable farce. A carnival of ignorance!
You know what your problem is, Uter? You've become so obsessed with the concept of fashion itself that you let it paralyze you. Stop trying to cater to it. Focus on your own work, and you get to decide what fashion means.
Spare me the lecture, why don't you? Sooner or later, you'll cater to all the voices too, you know. After all, what is fashion but another form of public opinion?
Fashion is about aspiring towards a certain ideal, but it's up to you to decide what it is. My brand caters to no one but myself and my vision. That's my ideal, and it's not going to change.
Well, once the people witness their former darling's spectacular fall, they'll understand how laughable that ideal truly is.
That's what you've been trying to prove all this time? Your jaded understanding of the industry is the reason you've had it out for my brand for so long? You weren't like this before, Uter. What happened to the man who wanted to make something that would bring the entire world to its knees?
He realized long ago how utterly naive and ridiculous that dream was.
You gave up on your dream, but that wasn't enough, was it? You had to find a way to prove to yourself that it could never have been possible at all. You think you understand, but you're just a bitter man who let his regrets dictate his choices. You regret giving up on your dream. So you stopped at nothing to prove to yourself that it wasn't the wrong choice. This whole thing, Uter. It's pathetic.
Pathetic? Why don't you take a look in the mirror? You're a fool daydreaming about taking all of Tibet by storm. Well, good luck doing that when even Fontaine doesn't have a place for you anymore.
You're right. Maybe all those who pursue their dreams are fools. But more pitiful still are cowards who are too afraid to even attempt what the fool is brave enough to try.
You...
Yeah, just leave this guy to us!
No, you go instead.
But he has a gun!
It'll be fine. Just go to the venue and tell everyone to proceed with the plan. I'll deal with him. Some lessons are best delivered in person.
Catch up with us soon!
Trying to leave, are we?
I've held back all this time because of our past partnership, Uter. But all that changed after our tour of your factory.
Still trying to talk tough, I see.
No matter what you've been through, no matter why you've become like this. If I may borrow the words of a friend, a guy like you doesn't deserve my sympathy. Allow me to show you the true meaning of the Chioria brand. The Chioria brand represents more than a person or a trademark. It's a way of life.
Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast your eyes on the extravaganza that Chioria Boutique has prepared for you today.
Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique. And most importantly,
an enduring, never-say-die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chioria brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress, Miss Chiori herself!
Did Chiori not...
Lights! Cameras! Over here, please!
Let the show begin.
The world may change, fashion along with it, but Chioria will remain the same. No challenge is too great. Chioria caters to no one. Not even the times. Rather, Chioria will always lead the fashion of our time. Finally, let's not forget. Only those who do not give up on their dreams are worthy of this brand. Well then, I suppose all that's left to say is, Happy Fashion Week, fellow dreamers.
Ouais, sympathique, malgré tout, n'est-ce pas? Et pourquoi t'as écrit dictate avec des points d'exclamation?
A little more to the
Il est en mode
left.
lurk?
Like this?
Qu'est-ce que tu racontes, Zélie?
Perfect.
Phew.
Oh, that looks great! Miss Chiori, can I take a picture?
Of course.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made it before Fashion Week. I figured it'd be best to put it up after the success of the show.
Well, how can you become renowned through all of Teyvat without a fancy signboard of your own? The Spina's way ahead of you in that regard.
Now that you mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmalkin cat and the Bogglecat box. Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course. How about... the Hangry Bird.
So, does that mean your signboard is going to be 2 cats and a penguin stuffed into a single hat?
Ooh, that sounds super snuggly and warm.
And a bit cramped.
Miss Chiori, I'm done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along with the evidence the Traveler gathered.
Thank you, Charlotte.
It's my pleasure. Bringing the truth to light is a journalist's duty.
Going forward, feel free to custom order any accessories you need for Monsieur Verite. It's on the house.
Huh? You really mean it?
Of course. The same goes for you too, Linny and Lynette. If you have need of any costumes in the future, just drop me a note.
What about something other than a costume?
Thank you, Chiori. It's much appreciated.
Well, I don't really need anything. Just don't be a stranger, all right?
I don't need anything either. So long as you continue to request my international courier services from Komania Express, we're golden.
Actually, that reminds me. When will you be leaving, Kirara?
Huh? About that.
The Spina di Rosula has prepared a special vehicle for you, so you can just get in and we'll push it all the way out of Fontaine.
What? No, that's so embarrassing.
Ooh, do we hit something nice too, Chiori?
Of course. Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show, appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization, using weaponry in public, hosting a dangerous performance without notifying the authorities.
Chevras, we can explain!
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol at your earliest convenience.
Enjoyed that, didn't you? You nearly scared me half to death.
Says the one who pulled that stunt earlier. How about you do me a favor and tell me in advance next time you're planning something like that?
And if I had, would you have approved?
No, but it would have at least spared me a whole lot of anxiety.
Well, I would say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Fleuve Cendra, and the man responsible all tied up and handed to you on a silver platter. Sounds pretty thoughtful if you ask me.
All right, I won't argue with you. You can have this one.
Well, friends, I would say we've earned ourselves a nice meal for our efforts. Let's go. Spina's treat.
I'll have to take a rain check. I've still got a lot of paperwork to take care of, so you all go have fun. Oh, by the way, Chiori, I ran into Vanger on the way here. He had a message for you.
I don't need to hear it. I'm sure the old fool used pretty much every apology in the book. I'll just visit him some other day and give him a hard time about everything.
You know him well.
Thanks again, Shelvrus.
My pleasure. Oh, and one last thing. That was really quite an amazing show.
You don't say.
All right. Follow me if you want in on the celebration feast. Come on, we're leaving.
Traveler, Paimon, could you go wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let Navia know that we'll be a little late. There's something I'd like to give you.
A place with a view? Oh, Paimon knows where you mean. Sure, no problem.
Perfect. I'll be right there.
D'ailleurs, t'as conservé tes primos? Hein? Comment ça, mon ref? 50 000 primos. Putain, mais t'as quasiment autant que moi alors que moi j'ai mis de la thune. J'ai pas ça. Le mec est plus économe que moi. Bon bah j'ai perdu Chiori. Hop là. Une petite fleur. Ah mais ça nous ramène, oui, là où elle était assise. On va se balader avec Navia pour la peine. Ah mais si tu l'as fait à... oui, 1 minute avant, c'est ça?
Wait long at all. But what did you want to give us that you couldn't share right in front of everyone else?
Here, take this.
Oh, wow! A brooch! And in the style of Chioria Boutique, too! Wait, Paimon gets one as well?
I've only made 2 for now. After much consideration, I decided to give them to you two. You've been a great help. Even when things were looking bleak, you stayed by my side. There were even times when I felt like I had to fight back and win, even if it was just to honor the trust that you had in me.
Well, we may have helped a little, but Paimon would say you deserve most of the credit. This result, it was all you, Chiori.
I know for certain that was not the case. I've chased my dream for so long that I've come to understand something. Apart from conviction and persistence, the thing that matters most is having friends who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. A single person can only do so much. Without all your help, Chioria Boutique could have easily fallen to ruin.
Well, Paimon doesn't think it would have ever gotten to that point. Not if you had anything to say about it. But, about the stuff you said at the show, you aren't worried it'll rub some people the wrong way?
Perhaps my words were a little pretentious, but they do reflect how I truly feel. I won't bow or scrape before any force in this world, much less any individual. I'm confident in the quality of my work. Create something beautiful, and there will always be people who appreciate it.
Well, guess there's nothing to worry about then. Should we go back and join them at the victory feast?
Oh, yes, of course. But before that, I'd like to admire the view for just a little while longer. You know, of all the nights I've spent in Fontaine, I'd say this is the loveliest by far.
parle de ce soir. Et on a la brochette pour la théière. Ok. On va aller la poser vite fait pour finir. Je pense que c'est à l'intérieur, ça doit être tout petit. Je dis quoi, la brochette? La broche? Quoi? Je sais plus ce que j'ai dit. Parce que dehors, c'est trop bordélique. On pourrait pas la voir. Est-ce qu'elle s'accroche au mur sur un meuble? J'en sais rien. Oh non, non. Ah oui, c'est l'enseigne. Tiens, on peut me la mettre là, genre... hop. Sur le bureau. Voilà. Anyway. C'est fini pour aujourd'hui. Quête de Chiori, c'est fait. Voilà. Voilà, voilà.